Unfortunately, they are not a monolith. And it's really difficult to just use one ad campaign to reach out to everybody because there are so many varying opinions and priorities within the Latino community. The one thing they agreed on, though, is that in their culture, they say they don't like it when people beat around the bush. They want people to get to the point, and they're tired of hearing Biden's rhetoric and flowery language. They want to hear more details. They want to hear a specific platform about what he plans to do.
Yeah. They they don't like it when you just, I mean, nobody does, but especially, I mean, I think that certain communities have less patience for BS than others, less tolerance for it than others. Nobody likes feeling like they're being taken on a ride, especially when you are doing outreach to a specific community or a specific demographic, and the appearance and strategy of messaging is that, oh, well, I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just being straight no chaser with you. I'm just playing it down the middle. I'm just telling you how it is. And you're not, because you look like a liar. Welcome back to the show. Top of the second hour. Dana Lash with you. You can listen coast to coast, channel 347 Direct TV. You can find us on X as well. We're streaming there, YouTube, Facebook, Substack, the newsletter, chapter and verse. And this is going to be an issue for Democrats. They just don't know how to get over this barrier that they have been operating under as it pertains to outreach. And you thought Republicans had an outreach problem, which they do. Both groups really do, if I'm being honest about it. Democrats, though, here's the problem with each. Republicans don't actually do outreach in certain, they're getting better at it. But their outreach historically, especially to different minority communities, has been heinous because they just don't do it. They just don't go out there to do it. When I lived in Missouri, I lived in St. Louis, and there was the first congressional district that was historically Democrat. It is majority, I think it's majority Black voters, although I think that's, you have a lot of Hispanic voters, et cetera, that have come in now in the past like 20 years. But it's a minority district, really. And Republicans just never really spent a lot of time trying to do voter outreach because they always, and this is how they tell it to the people who donate and the big money backers, they want to be able to show a return on the investment of donations and financing. And that return is votes. That return is controlling the area. And it's the way that Republicans have always measured, I think, a successful outreach campaign, because it doesn't necessarily mean that's going to translate into a vote proper, like maybe this election, but maybe in a future election, it will. I mean, a lot of times the victory is just planting the seed, and Republicans did not they would just assume this district's gone. And I understand it when you're working with a limited budget, you're trying to maximize your dollars. That's what you do with your household. That's what you do with anything else. You try to maximize where can I get the most bang for my buck. But at the same time, you have to measure it a little bit differently where it concerns political outreach. So that's always been kind of the problem with Republicans and outreach to minority voters. And then Democrats, I think that now a lot of people are really waking up and saying, how long have you promised us stuff? You said that the economy was going to get better and you made it worse. You said that there were going to be more jobs and there aren't jobs. You've done all this and it's all been made demonstrably worse. So where's the return on this investment of our support? And they don't know how to explain that. They don't have the product. Republicans have the product. Their messaging sucks. Democrats don't have the product. They used to just BS you with messaging. Now they can't even do that anymore because the product is so bad. They can't even fluff it up with over the top language anymore to try to sell people on something that they don't have. They can't even do that anymore. They're bad salespeople now, which is kind of wild to see. But I think that's because things have gotten so bad and they've been just so irresponsible that it's, kind of to be expected. I mean, are you really shocked by this? You're not going to be able to shine this up. It's not going to happen. That's why I think this is going to be just disastrous too. Further looking at, the spending that they're wanting to do. Good heavens, that's going to make everything worse. The idea isn't to say we realize, the bad situation with the economy. But we're going to try to offset that with more bad policy to create an even worse economy. Audio soundbite 2. Biden's he's begging them at this point. He's begging Latino voters. Listen to this.
Election is not a referendum on me. It's an election between me and a guy named Trump. And this is a guy whose the way he talks about the Latino community is, well, in 2016 he called Latinos criminal, drug dealers, and rapists when he came down that escalator. Now he says immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country. You're the reason why, in large part, I beat Donald Trump. I need you. I need you badly.
That's not what Trump said, though. Trump was talking about people coming in across the border illegally, and it wasn't just Latinos. He was talking about people coming in from everywhere, including even Europe, including Middle Eastern nations, including, everybody, China, and talking about how the basis of criminality would lead to more criminality. If you're going to violate the law and enter illegally and try to sneak past Border Patrol, chances are you're probably going to continue to commit crime. I mean, that's just a statistical reality. And the way that Democrats put it, oh no, he's talking about all Latinos and Hispanics. That's what he. Think about that, though. Think about that effort for a moment. They are trying to tell Latino voters that, well, this is what Trump said. This is what this Republican party leader said about Latino immigrants coming in, across the border. People coming in, because it makes it sound like he was saying that about perfectly legal entry. And they omit the part where there were a lot of other nationalities thrown in, talking about, again, the first act of entering the country is to commit a crime by entering illegally. But the strategy of them telling Latino voters, well, this is what he said about you, lying to them about what Trump, lying to them and saying that here you're being called all of these things. Do you realize how, in and of itself, how racist that is? Biden is saying something that he wants these voters to believe that wasn't actually said. He's making a racist statement that wasn't said, but he's making the racist statement to get a payoff from it in the form of either anger at Republicans or support for him because, he's not the racist. He's just going to make a racist statement and attribute it to somebody else. Do you see how insane that is? I don't think that that's working as well as it used to with Democrats. I don't think that it's having the effect that it's having with them.